Chewing history, the sticky habit that shaped humanity. Imagine this. A teenage girl sits in a quiet forest. In what is now Siltholm, in southern Denmark, over 5,700 years ago. No music, no screens, no noise except the wind moving through trees. She is chewing. Thousands of years later, archaeologists would uncover that very piece of gum. A lump of birch pitch, still marked with her teeth. Scientists even extracted her DNA from it. Today, she is known as Lola. All because she chewed. But she wasn't chewing just for fun. Birch pitch had to be softened in the mouth before it could be used as glue for tools. In a sense, she wasn't passing time, she was working. And without realizing it, she left behind one of the most intimate human records in history. That small, absent-minded act connects her to us. Across thousands of years, humans have always done this strange, simple thing. We chew. Instinct before industry. Long before chewing gum became a product, it was a behavior. Ancient Greeks chewed mastic resin to clean their teeth. Indigenous peoples in North America chewed spruce sap. The Maya and Aztecs used chicle, a natural tree latex, to quench thirst and suppress hunger during long journeys. These cultures never met. They shared no language, no trade, no contact. And yet, they all discovered chewing. Why? Because chewing does something to the human brain. Modern studies show that chewing increases blood flow and oxygen delivery to the brain, improving focus, memory, and cognitive performance. Scientists even have a name for it: masticatory-induced arousal. When you chew, your body behaves as if food is coming. Your heart rate rises slightly. Blood flows faster. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for thinking and decision-making, becomes more active. In other words, chewing wakes the brain up. Humans didn't invent chewing gum. We rediscovered a biological habit. A failure that changed everything. For thousands of years, chewing stayed simple: tree sap, instinct, repetition. Then came the 19th century, and a failure that changed everything. A Mexican general, Antonio López de Santa Anna, brought a strange substance called chicle to the United States. He believed it could replace rubber for industrial uses. Everything from boots to carriage parts. An inventor named Thomas Adams tried to make that idea work. He failed completely. After months of unsuccessful experiments, Adams found himself with a warehouse full of useless material. Then one day, he noticed something curious. People were buying chewing gum made from paraffin wax. It wasn't very good, but people liked it, so Adams did something simple and brilliant. He boiled the chicle, shaped it into pieces, and sold it. That failed industrial material became the foundation of modern chewing gum. Sometimes, history doesn't move forward through success. Sometimes, it pivots on failure. Flavor, fortune, and reinvention. Once gum became a product, it began to evolve. In the 1860s, flavored gum transformed chewing from a habit into an experience. Sweetness, aroma, and texture turned gum into something people wanted, not just something they did. Then came William Wrigley Jr. Wrigley didn't start in the gum business. He sold soap and baking powder, offering gum as a free bonus. But customers kept returning, not for the soap but for the gum. So he made a decision. He let the bonus become the product. That decision built one of the largest chewing gum empires in history. But gum still had a problem. It wasn't respectable. From vulgar to vital. In the early 20th century, chewing gum carried a stigma. It was seen as rude, unrefined, even inappropriate, especially for women. Etiquette experts warned that chewing in public made a person appear careless or low class. Gum wasn't just a product. It was a signal. And so companies changed the story. Advertising began to frame gum as a tool for fresh breath, a benefit for dental hygiene, a polite, modern necessity. The transformation was subtle but powerful. What was once vulgar became acceptable. What was once rebellious became routine. And once that shift happened, there was no going back. the bubble that made it fun. Then came one of the happiest accidents in industrial history. In 1928, a factory worker named Walter Deemer was experimenting with gum formulas. By chance, he created a version that was stretchier and less sticky, perfect for blowing bubbles. He colored it pink because it was the only dye available, and because it stood out. That simple choice turned gum into something playful. Bubble gum wasn't just chewed. It was performed. Blowing bubbles became a universal symbol of youth, mischief, and carefree rebellion. And when they popped, usually at the worst possible moment, it reminded us that even small joys can be unpredictable. War, science, and a pocket-sized tool. During World War II, chewing gum spread across the world. American soldiers carried it in their rations, using it to relieve stress, stay alert, and fight dry mouth. When they shared it with locals, gum became a global habit almost overnight. But the story didn't stop there. Modern science transformed gum into something more than a treat. Militaries later developed functional chewing gums such as caffeine gum to keep soldiers awake and focused. Unlike coffee, which must be digested, caffeine in gum is absorbed quickly through the lining of the mouth. Faster delivery, faster alertness. A stick of gum became a tool for performance. The great chemical twist. Here's where the story turns ironic. Thomas Adams failed to turn tree sap into industrial rubber. But today, chewing gum is made from materials similar to rubber. Modern gum bases often include synthetic polymers like polyisobutylene, a stretchy substance also used in products like inner tubes. In other words, we eventually learned how to chew what Adams originally hoped to build machines with. History didn't correct itself. It flipped. Natural gum tried to become industrial material, and failed. Industrial material eventually became gum, and succeeded. The sticky cost of a cheap habit. But this transformation came with consequences. Unlike natural chicle, modern synthetic gum doesn't break down easily. It sticks to sidewalks, desks, and shoes, lingering long after its flavor fades. In some cities, removing a single piece of gum can cost several times more than the gum itself. Specialized crews, sometimes called gumbusters, use steam and chemicals to clean streets. One stubborn spot at a time. It's a hidden cost of something that feels almost free. And now, scientists warn that gum contributes to microplastic pollution. As it slowly breaks down, what began as a natural substance has become part of a modern environmental problem. And so, the story circles back. Some companies are now returning to natural resins like chicle, trying to make gum that disappears as easily as it once did. The $1 empire. Gum is cheap. That's its genius. You don't plan to buy it. You don't compare brands. You don't think very hard at all. You just grab it at the checkout line. Psychologists call this an impulse purchase, a decision so small your brain barely notices it. But when millions of people make that same decision every day, it becomes something enormous. The gum industry grew into a global powerhouse. Families like the Wrigleys built vast fortunes. Even Warren Buffett got his start selling gum as a child. A $1 habit created billion-dollar empires. Why we still chew? After thousands of years, we're still doing it. Still unwrapping, still chewing, still blowing bubbles when no one's watching. Why? Because chewing sits in a unique space between action and rest. It occupies the body while freeing the mind. It sharpens attention while calming nerves. It is simple. It is repetitive. It is human. A final thought. So the next time you unwrap a piece of gum, take a moment. You're not just chewing something sweet. You're continuing one of the oldest habits in human history. Lola's gum survived for more than 5,700 years because it was made from natural resin. Something that could endure and return to the earth at the same time. Today's gum may last just as long, but not as a time capsule, as a footprint.
It's time to study new words in context. 1. Birch pitch. Definition: a sticky, black material made from birch tree bark, used long ago as glue. Example: people in the past used birch pitch to fix tools. 2. Intimate. Definition: very personal or close, often about feelings or private things. Example: the letter gave an intimate look at her life. 3. Mastic resin. Definition: a natural gum from a tree, used for chewing or medicine. Example: ancient people chewed mastic resin to clean their teeth. 4. Indigenous. Definition: people who originally lived in a place before others came. Example: indigenous people taught settlers how to use plants. 5. Spruce sap. Definition: a sticky liquid that comes from a spruce tree. Example: they chewed spruce sap like early chewing gum. 6. Quench. Definition: to stop thirst or satisfy a need. Example: she drank water to quench her thirst. 7. Cognitive. Definition: related to thinking, learning, and understanding. Example: reading helps improve cognitive skills. 8. Masticatory-induced arousal. Definition: a brain reaction where chewing makes you more awake and focused. Example: chewing gum can cause masticatory-induced arousal during study. 9. Prefrontal cortex. Definition: the front part of the brain that helps you think, plan, and make decisions. Example: the prefrontal cortex helps you solve problems. 10. Paraffin wax. Definition: a soft, white wax made from oil, used in candles and early gum. Example: early chewing gum was made from paraffin wax. 11. Pivot. Definition: to change direction or plan quickly. Example: the company decided to pivot and sell gum instead. 12. Stigma. Definition: a bad opinion or negative idea about something. Example: there was a stigma about chewing gum in public. 13. Unrefined. Definition: not polished, not careful, or not well-mannered. Example: his behavior seemed unrefined at the party. 14. Inappropriate. Definition: not suitable or not right for the situation. Example: it is inappropriate to talk loudly in class. 15. Hygiene. Definition: habits that keep your body clean and healthy. Example: brushing your teeth is part of good hygiene. 16. Stood out. Definition: was easy to notice because it was different. Example: her bright dress stood out in the crowd. 17. Mischief. Definition: playful trouble or small bad behavior that is not serious. Example: the child got into mischief at school. 18. Carefree. Definition: happy and without worries. Example: they enjoyed a carefree day at the beach. 19. Synthetic polymers. Definition: man-made materials that are stretchy and strong, like plastic or rubber. Example: modern gum uses synthetic polymers. 20. Polyisobutylene. Definition: a type of man-made rubber used in products like gum and tires. Example: polyisobutylene makes gum stretchy. 21. Microplastic. Definition: very tiny pieces of plastic that can harm the environment. Example: microplastics are found in oceans and soil.
Comprehension questions. 1. Who is Lola and why is she important? Answer: Lola is a girl from over 500-700 years ago, whose DNA was found in a piece of ancient chewing gum. 2. Why was Lola chewing birch pitch? Answer: she chewed it to soften it so it could be used as glue for tools. 3. What does the article suggest about chewing in early human history? Answer: it suggests that chewing was a natural habit that people all over the world discovered on their own. 4. Name 2 materials people used as early chewing gum. Answer: people used mastic resin and spruce sap. 5. What effect does chewing have on the brain? Answer: chewing increases blood flow to the brain and helps improve focus and thinking. 6. What is masticatory-induced arousal? Answer: it is when chewing makes the brain more awake and active. 7. Who brought chicle to the United States and why? Answer: Santa Anna brought it to use as a substitute for rubber. 8. What mistake led Thomas Adams to create chewing gum? Answer: he failed to make rubber from chicle. and decided to sell it as gum instead. 9. How did William Wrigley Jr. become successful in the gum business? Answer: he noticed people liked the free gum more than his products and decided to focus on selling gum. 10. Why was chewing gum once considered inappropriate? Answer: it was seen as rude, low-class, and not polite, especially in public. 11. How did companies change the image of chewing gum? Answer: they advertised it as good for fresh breath and dental health. 12. Who invented bubble gum and how? Answer: Walter Deemer invented it by accident while experimenting with gum recipes. 13. Why did bubble gum become popular? Answer: it was fun because people could blow bubbles, making it playful and exciting. 14. How was chewing gum used during World War II? Answer: soldiers used it to reduce stress, stay alert, and keep their mouths from getting dry. 15. What is the chemical irony mentioned in the article? Answer: the irony is that gum is now made from materials similar to rubber, even though it originally failed as a rubber substitute. 16. What problem does modern chewing gum cause in cities? Answer: it sticks to sidewalks and is expensive and difficult to remove. 17. What are microplastics and why are they a concern? Answer: microplastics are tiny pieces of plastic that can harm the environment. 18. Why is chewing gum called an impulse purchase? Answer: because people buy it quickly without thinking, especially at checkout lines. 19. How did chewing gum help create large fortunes? Answer: many people bought it regularly, which made companies very rich over time. 20. What message does the article give at the end? Answer: it shows that chewing gum connects the past and present, but modern gum may harm the environment.